Hello guys, I am Pixel, and today I thought I would give you guys my thoughts and opinions on the Star Wars Battlefront open beta. This was released on Thursday, and I have already clocked up around 25 to 26 hours playing this thing, and that is absolutely crazy. And I'll start off by saying, I, for the most part, really enjoyed my experience playing with the open beta. I have got a few issues, obviously, but generally, I really did kind of enjoy it. However, that would not be a very detailed impression, so what I'm going to do is basically just go over some of the points that I really did like and some of the things that I really didn't like, and let you guys make up your own mind. I mean, if you've had a chance to play it, then great, and if not, hopefully this, along with other people's videos, maybe a little bit of a helping hand to let you know if you want to actually pick it up at launch or something. But I'll start off by saying, visually, the game is very impressive. Now, I've seen a lot of people complaining about its graphics over on the forums and stuff like that because it doesn't live up to the screenshots. But I have to say, like, I've really got no complaints. I mean, it's not groundbreaking, right? It's not Crisis 4 level of graphics, but generally it looks pretty nice, and I think they've done a really nice, faithful recreation of what you do see in the films, and just simple little things. I might be easy to impress, but the fact that every character and like every person that's walking around on the Hoth map leaves footprints. That's crazy to me. Like, just obviously I don't think they stay forever, but you can actually follow a player and actually look at his feet, and he's leaving footprints in the snow, and you see the big AT-AT walkers just walking across the field, leaving big massive craters which you can actually step inside of. On the field. And then also you've just got like the I know it's vast and openness, there's not really much there, like in terms of detail on the Hoth map especially, but like you can just see into the distance. You've got the ships flying around the sky, the vibrant colours of the sky, and then that bright white like hitting you in the face, yet they've still managed to maintain some kind of distinction between the stormtroopers, which are wearing white as well, so you can actually still see them fairly well at distance. And then like the basic graphics itself, like the texture detail is fairly on point. So yeah, like as graphics go, I'm fairly impressed. Obviously, like I said, it's not a technical marvel, let's say, but generally I'm quite happy with it. Now, when it comes to the gameplay, for the most part, it's fun, right? I'm not saying it's the most balanced thing in the world, because that would be a complete lie. I'm not saying that it's innovative in almost any single way. It's just, it's fun. It's fun to play, and you can have a laugh with it. I like the way that the weapons handle. I like the ability just to not have to worry about iron sights for a change, and just be able to like aim my weapon and fire, and know that I need to predict a little bit because the weapons do have travel time. But generally, I'm really enjoying that kind of stuff. And for the most part, the gameplay feels really fluid. That's one thing I've always got to give up to DICE. Like, for the graphical quality that they managed to get into their games, like, the performance is top notch. I'm actually running this now on almost ultra settings. I had to turn down a couple of things, but yeah, for the most part, ultra settings at approximately 120 FPS. Sometimes it goes above that, sometimes it goes a little bit below that, but generally it's looking very fluid, and you're not really feeling the dips and the highs of the frame rate. So that's one of the most important things that I look for in a game, is consistency in frame rate, and not a lot of games do that anymore. And I'm happy to say that Battlefront manages to feel really consistent in its frame rate, and you don't really consider the performance to be an issue, and that really does help out the feeling of the gameplay as well. Now, this is a beta, so let's bear that in mind. There are some things that are going to be changed, and there are some bugs in the game, and there are quite a few bugs, unfortunately. But that said, hopefully they will be fixed in future. But the big bugs which are really irritating me right now, this isn't even really a bug, it's just a big frustration from almost every single Frostbite engine game that I've played, and that is navigating terrain. Like, you look at something, you think, yeah, I can jump over that. No, you can't. You're going to slide on your ass back down that hill, sonny boy, and you're going to have to deal with it. And I really don't like that about any of the Frostbite engine games. It's negated a little bit by being in, well, having the ability to go third person. So I don't mind it too much, but definitely, like, on the Hoth map especially, it's really clunky. Like, trying to jump over rocks, trying to climb up hills can be really clunky. So, yeah, that's why most people, I think, roll with the jetpack, because most of these places that you can get up to with the jetpack, you can actually climb up slowly. but it feels really inconsistent, and the jetpack really does help that out a lot. Now, I think one of the big things that a lot of people have been complaining about on the forums, on social media, and in YouTube videos is the balance of the Rebels versus the Imperials on Hoth in particular, because apparently it's really difficult for the Rebels to win. Now, I agree to a certain point, right? Like, if you're playing on your own or with a friend and you can't find an orbital strike, or you don't manage to get into the snow speeders at the end, or generally your team are just really bad, it is one of the most frustrating experiences in gaming, because I actually believe that this is because they designed the game to actually play almost like the movies. It's almost like, because they've wanted to recreate that experience so much, they've kind of like accepted, yeah, the Rebels are getting their asses smashed in, and there's nothing they can do about it. So if you're playing Rebels, there's a good chance that you are going to get your ass handed to you, but that does not mean that you're going to have to lose, because unfortunately, and this is something that I'm not very happy about, to be honest, the Rebel win state is almost binary, right? It's so easy to get. If you can actually just run around the map and ignore the objectives for the first 5 minutes of the game if you're playing Rebels, and just keep picking up power-ups until you get an orbital strike, you're gonna like almost demolish a single AT-AT walker in a single burst. And that is really strong. And personally, I think it's a little bit too strong, to be honest. But yeah, so like, yes, the Rebels are really difficult to win with, but if you kind of don't play the game the way it was intended to be played and just go around looking for power-ups all day, then it's actually really easy to win as the Rebels. I've actually won on the first stage, I've won on the second stage, and I'd say like my win rate is around 50% now, but if I was trying to play the objective, like going for these the MCOM stations basically to call in the Y-Wings, I would die and lose almost every single time, because there's no one out there getting them power-ups, and there's no one out there taking control of the skies. So unfortunately, I think the biggest issue with the game when it comes to the balance between the Rebels and the Imperials right now is the players, because it only really requires a couple of good players on the Rebel side to make the Rebels win, where the Imperials, like, they've got an easy ride all the way through. Like, so there's no like smart players on the Rebel side. They will win 100% no matter what they do. They don't even need to play the objective, because there's not enough DPS to put out onto them walkers. But if you are playing two smart people as Rebels, you're almost guaranteed to win, providing that you get the luck of the draw, roll that dice correctly, and get your orbital strikes. And now, part of the issue with this is that the orbital strikes are not something that you earn, it's something that you pick up, right? And it's a random pickup, so you walk over these little tokens in the map, and you may get an orbital strike. And that's what I really don't like about this game mode, because first off with the speeders and then with the tokens, it almost feels like the outcome of the match is almost luck based. It's like the flip of the coin. Does the good person with the speeder get the speeder and able to tie up the legs at the very end, meaning that the first 5-10 minutes of the match were absolutely meaningless because they won single-handedly in that last minute of the game? Or does two players with a bit of a brain decide to save an orbital strike and actually blow it up there and blow it up as soon as the shields go down, which is, it's fairly easy to get shields down for at least a couple of seconds on each run. So yeah, like I don't really consider that much of an achievement, to be honest. So yeah, like that's one thing that I don't like, and it's basically the token system in general. I really don't like the idea of just RNG in my game all over the place. And the final thing that I really didn't like too much, and this may be because I'm bad, so please do feel free to call me out on it, and that is the heroes. I find that the heroes just feel really clunky to use. I don't find them fun at all, and I think versus decent players, you're very limited in what you do. Like one wrong move, one wrong turn of a corner, or just being unlucky, and you will almost instantly die through just a barrage of normal weapon fire, and it can kind of make you feel a little bit useless. You can actually feel more useful in a ATST currently. Now, I've heard that there are going to be ion torpedoes in the full game, which will take down the ATSTs really quickly, so maybe that won't be the case then, but right now, I would prefer basically any other vehicle in the game rather than taking control of a hero, because I just feel like they're so weak in comparison to everything else. There have been many a times where I have managed to single-handedly take out a hero on my own just with explosives, maybe a little bit of weapon fire at the back, because when they're doing that blocking with the lightsaber, it only really like shoots where they're going, like when you shoot them and they're blocking, they don't take damage, but the bullets only go where they're aiming. A lot of people haven't figured out that you can actually aim them bullets yet, and it's all too easy to use the jetpack to get around players and stuff like that. So I don't know, maybe you could balance them a little bit more with better force powers, maybe increase their movement speed and their movement abilities a little bit, but generally they're really clunky. Like I can't get over it. They're really clunky. You can't understate it. Like, it is clunky as clunky can be. Like, it's awful to play them, in my opinion. I know some people will disagree, and yes, they can be quite fun if you actually manage to get them on the inside areas, and we don't know how they're going to act on all the different maps, but currently on Hoth, playing as Luke Skywalker is not really all that fun, to be honest. But apart from that, I have to say, it does definitely seem like it's a faithful recreation of the Star Wars franchise. Like, it feels like Hoth. The battle feels like what you saw in The Empire Strikes Back, and I really did enjoy my time with it. And I'm really excited to see the other maps, because this is a really barren open map. But we've got Endor and all the other maps out there, which I'm really excited to see. Now, when it comes to pre-ordering, will I pre-order it? Yes, I will, but that's completely different. I'm not recommending that you guys do that. I'm doing that because I do a YouTube channel, and I'm in a fairly privileged position where once I upload a couple of videos, I will more than likely make my money back. So there's no real risk for me in doing that. But right now, I definitely think that if you're looking for something deep and meaningful, then maybe Star Wars isn't going to be your jazz. I'm kind of concerned what the Battlefield YouTubers are going to do about this now, because the game is really basic. It's really simple. Like, you could say it's a good thing. You can jump into a game straight away. There's no fussing about. It's really easy to get into. So that sounds good, but I do wonder if there's going to be that depth that a lot of the YouTubers out there really rely on to make videos on. Like, when you can actually try different combos of weapons and attachments and different maps with different positions and play the game with different classes and make it completely individual to how you play. Where Star Wars Battlefront doesn't seem to have much of that. You really are playing the experience, and you're not really customizing that experience all that much to suit your own needs. So that's kind of a concern. So I do worry a little bit about the longevity, but I honestly do believe there's going to be a good fair number of fun hours in there to actually enjoy once you get your hands on it yourself. But anyway, guys, that's going to be me done for that's going to be me done for today. I have really enjoyed my time with the beta. There are still quite a few issues out there which I do hope get fixed or adjusted in some way. But generally, I've had a good time, and I hope that you guys have enjoyed watching this video. And if you have, do please feel free to leave me a like. And you can always slap that subscribe button for some more PC gaming goodness. And as always, guys, I am Pixel. Thank you so much for watching, and until next time, bye-bye.